What secret is a 90-year-old shepherd hiding high in the Greek mountains? Imagine this. A man in his 90s, older than most people ever get to be, still waking up before the sun, climbing rocky paths, and leading his sheep across wild mountain slopes. His body is bent but strong, his steps careful but steady, and his eyes, sharp as ever, watch over every creature in his flock. But here's the big question. How is he still doing this when others half his age are already tired, sick, or slowing down? What is his secret? This is the story of the Nonagenarian Shepherd of the Greek mountains, a tale of grit, wisdom, and mystery that has left scientists, travelers, and storytellers all wondering, what keeps him alive, healthy, and happy after nearly a century of life? Life in the clouds. Up in the mountains of Greece, far from the noise of cities and the speed of modern life, the shepherd begins each day. The air here is crisp, cool, and so pure you feel like you could drink it. The landscape is rugged, filled with olive trees, herbs, and rocky trails that twist toward the sky. The shepherd rises at dawn, his hands already knowing the motions of tying his sandals, packing a small bag of bread and cheese, and stepping outside. The world is still asleep, but he is not. He has sheep to guide, goats to feed, and pastures to find. The sound of bells tied around the animals' necks creates a music that echoes across the valleys. He walks for hours every day. Think about that. At 90+ years old, he covers distances many younger people struggle with. His legs are strong from decades of climbing, his back is sturdy from carrying loads of firewood, and his lungs are clear from breathing clean mountain air. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people would think a man his age should be weak, sick, or even bedridden. Yet he isn't. He laughs easily, he sings old songs, and he tells stories that make the younger villagers sit down and listen. How is that possible? The mystery of his energy. Some say it's the food. His diet is simple. Bread baked at home, cheese made from goat's milk, olives picked from his own trees, vegetables from the garden, and fish from streams. He eats meat, but not too much. His meals are small but satisfying, and he eats slowly, enjoying every bite. Others say it's the wine. Yes, wine, but not the kind you find in supermarkets. This is homemade, dark, rich, and sipped in small amounts. He doesn't drink to forget his worries, he drinks to celebrate life. And then there's the work itself. Every day the shepherd moves. He never stops. His body has never been locked in an office chair or stuck behind a car wheel for hours. Instead, his muscles, joints, and heart have been trained by decades of walking, climbing, bending, and lifting. It's exercise, but it doesn't feel like exercise. It's just life. Still, others believe the secret is deeper than food or movement. They whisper about the shepherd's attitude. He laughs often. He doesn't hold on to anger. He accepts what comes, whether it's sunshine or storm, plenty or hunger. He lives in rhythm with the seasons, never fighting against them, but always flowing with them. Could that be the real secret? Lessons from the past. The shepherd wasn't always old, of course. He was once a young boy running barefoot through the same hills. He learned to tend animals from his father and grandfather. His childhood was filled with chores, but also with freedom, the kind of freedom only nature can give. He grew up during hard times: wars, poverty, hunger. He saw neighbors leave the mountains for cities, searching for jobs. He saw families break apart, traditions vanish, and villages grow quiet. But he stayed. He stayed because he loved the land. He stayed because the sheep needed him. And maybe without knowing it, he stayed because the mountains were keeping him alive. A day in his life. Want to know what one of his days looks like? Let's follow him. At sunrise, he's already awake. He eats a piece of bread dipped in olive oil and a few olives. Sometimes he adds a bit of goat cheese or figs if they're in season. No sugar-filled breakfast, no processed snacks, just simple food. Then he leads his animals into the hills. His stick taps the ground as he walks, steady and rhythmic. He whistles to guide the sheep, and they follow his voice. Hours pass. The sun climbs higher. He doesn't rush, he just keeps going. At midday, he sits under a tree. He opens his bag and takes out a little more bread, maybe some herbs or tomatoes, and water from a spring. If he's in the mood, a small sip of wine. He eats, rests, and looks at the horizon. He doesn't scroll on a phone. He watches clouds drift and listens to birds sing. By evening, he returns to his village. He greets neighbors, talks about the weather, and shares stories of the hills. Dinner is light but joyful. Sometimes friends come over, sometimes he visits others. There is laughter, talk, and always gratitude. He goes to bed early, ready to do it again tomorrow. The science behind the shepherd. Now let's pause for a moment. Scientists love stories like this. They study places called blue zones, regions of the world where people often live to be 90, 100, or more, and stay healthy while doing it. Guess what? One of those places is Ikaria, a Greek island not too far from where our shepherd lives. Researchers have found common traits in these areas. People move naturally every day. They eat mostly plants, with little meat. They avoid stress. They sleep well. They stay connected to family and friends. They have a purpose, something to wake up for. Doesn't that sound exactly like our shepherd? It's almost as if his whole life has been a natural recipe for long life. The mystery deepens. But here's where the mystery grows. Many people try to copy these habits, eating healthier, exercising more, finding balance, yet very few can live the way the shepherd does. Why? Because his life isn't built on a checklist. He doesn't say, "I'll walk 10,000 steps today," or "I need 8 glasses of water." For him, health isn't a rule. It's simply the way life has always been. He never needed a gym. His mountain is his gym. He never needed a doctor's strict diet. His village gave him the food. He never needed meditation apps. His peace comes from living close to nature. So maybe the true secret isn't just what he eats or how much he moves. Maybe the secret is that he never lost his connection to the land, to his animals, and to his people. Stories told by the fire. In the evenings, children gather around him. They love his stories. Tales of wolves in the forest, of storms that nearly swept the flock away, of festivals when the whole village danced under the moonlight. His voice is calm but strong, his memory sharp. He remembers names, places, dates, things many people forget as they grow old. The kids sit wide-eyed, feeling like they're stepping into another world. And here's something curious. He never speaks with regret. He doesn't say, "I wish I had lived differently." Instead, he says, "I am thankful for the life I had." That kind of peace is rare, and maybe, just maybe, it's another part of his secret. Visitors from afar. Travelers sometimes make their way into the mountains, curious about this legendary old man. They expect to find someone weak, fragile, or barely able to speak. Instead, they find him standing tall, holding his shepherd's staff, and walking faster than they can keep up. They ask questions. "What's your diet? Do you take medicine? How do you stay so strong?" He smiles, shrugs, and answers with simple words. "I eat what the land gives me. I work. I laugh. I love. That's all." But is that really all? Or is there something more, something even he doesn't realize? A glimpse of the answer. Let's look closely. His long life is built on many little things. The fresh food, the constant movement, the strong friendships, the peaceful mind. But there's one more piece, hidden in plain sight. It's purpose. Every morning, he has a reason to get up. His sheep depend on him. His family looks up to him. His community values his wisdom. He isn't living for himself alone. He is living for others. That purpose gives him strength, even on days when his body aches. Scientists say purpose can add years to life. The shepherd proves it. The secret revealed. So after all the guessing, wondering, and following his steps, what's the secret of the nonagenarian shepherd? It isn't just his food, though that helps. It isn't just the walking, though that makes him strong. It isn't even just the clean mountain air, though it surely gives him health. The secret is living in harmony. Harmony with nature. Harmony with community. Harmony with himself. He doesn't fight against life. He flows with it. And that is what has kept him strong for nearly a century. A memorable ending. As the sun sets over the Greek mountains, the shepherd stands with his flock, his staff planted firmly in the earth. The bells of the sheep echo softly in the wind. His silhouette is timeless, like a figure from another age. And here's the truth you've been waiting for. There is no magic pill, no hidden medicine, no ancient spell. The real answer is simple, yet powerful. Live fully, live simply, live with purpose. That's how a man can reach his 90s and still climb mountains. So the next time you wonder about the secret to long life, think of the nonagenarian shepherd. Think of his laughter, his steady steps, his humble meals, and his endless purpose. Then ask yourself, how can I bring even a piece of that harmony into my own life? Because who knows, maybe one day someone will tell the story of you. And that is the unforgettable secret of the shepherd in the Greek mountains.